Hey guys, what's up? It's Metroidman1996, and today is a new tutorial in Cinema 4D. Now, the image we're going to be creating in Cinema 4D is, of course, the one that you see in the background. What we basically got here is a bunch of abstract spheres I created in a previous tutorial. I'll put a link in the description below. But what you can see here is this red abstract sphere. You can see clear as day. I mean, there is absolutely no fading of it. Then of course you can see the blue sphere, it's a little faded, yellow and green, they're just completely faded out. Now the way I did that is using the render effect depth of field. And I'm going to show you how to actually create this effect. Now these spheres, the spheres I'm going to be using, of course were already pre-made because I made them in a tutorial before this, which of course if you want to learn how to make these types of spheres, link in the description below. But let's go ahead and get started. So we can see here, before we exit out of the rendered screen, we have the camera. This plane here you really don't have to pay attention to, but of course we have a floor on the bottom down there, and then the different spheres, which of course have a base color and two edited colors. So our main focus is the camera right here, and I'm going to try to do as much of this without exiting the editor's view. So actually what you do is go ahead and just watch the tutorial on how to make these spheres. Excuse me. Be creative, create different colors for each one. You don't have to actually do it in the exact form I did. That's just the style I usually use. It's like a little cross thing right there, and then like two loops, separate two loops, and then I put a disformer and everything. You'll see all in the tutorial. So anyways, back to the actual effect. What I did here is I put a camera, I angled the camera after angling all these spheres, and then I went to the target. I clicked on the camera, went to its attributes, and went from object to depth. Now going from depth, you have all this section here, depth of field. And of course, first we have the target distance. I believe originally it's 1,000 or no 2,000, 1,000 or 2,000, but either way, I put it down to 685. Then you can either put both front blur and rear blur, but if also I put a front blur, it's gonna completely make this entire image dead blur. You cannot see a single thing. That's why I only used rear blur, and I kept that at 50 centimeters and 42 centimeters. So with all that done, I'll show you. I can't necessarily show you the complete difference because, of course, as you can see in the back down here, 5 minutes and 44 seconds to render this entire thing out. So I'm going to try to work as much in and out of the editor's view without having to render a lot. So next is, let's go ahead and get into the render's view and show you guys what's we be doing. I know I'm starting a little crappy gangster. I'm never trying really. So actually we're going to go ahead and exit out of the camera, and what you see here is and as you can see, we have the green outline box telling how much the camera can see, and then we have this darker outline box. The darker outline box is actually, if I click or take off the rear blur, you see that the darker box disappears. Click it, back on. And also front blur, same thing. So best thing to always do is, after you put your rear blur in, put all your start and end. You really don't have to mess with anything else, I think. Nope, nothing else. Just make sure. Yeah, okay. So after I did all that, putting in, of course, target distance and rear blur start and end, I went up to render settings, and my output I put as 1980 by 1200. The reason why I do that, I don't know, but of course I put ambient occlusion up, global illumination with low, minimal, everything low, oversampling, I believe, weak, or minimal, Just put it like that. And then I also added depth of field. Now, pretty much all you do, you don't need to mess with this. Keep it as is. But you also need to click here, use gradient. Use gradients. So after you pretty much did all that, and after you put your camera back, and of course, if I'm going too fast, sorry, my computer is not as it should be. It's experiencing some bugs, so I'm fixing that tonight, or actually tomorrow. It's 1:05. Man, I really need to get to bed. So actually, let's go ahead and click our render button, and as it renders now, hang on. That's some good Gatorade. Different things I've been doing over the last few weeks. Sorry I haven't been putting up any videos recently. I've been actually having summer break, and the one thing about my summer break is that we're also remodeling the bathroom in my house, so I haven't been able to really make videos because I've been working with my dad, my grandpa, and my uncle, and also I've been doing a AP history report, and that is a book full, literally. I actually have to read a book chapter by chapter and take 6 historical facts from each chapter. Honestly, it's a very good book. The name of the book I won't want to say because I don't want to get in trouble later on with copyright and stuff. So, but of course it's an AP project, so it's not just doing that stuff. I also have to take a world map and label out the different regions and different places in it. So it's the basic AP work. Man, that is such good Gatorade. And as we can see now, it is rendering out. Yeah. Also, earlier today, like within the last maybe 5 hours ago, I was watching the Olympics with my mom and my dad. It was amazing, and it was the first day of it, so it was the opening ceremony. I gotta say, I loved it. I loved it, even though the people in... Whoops. Oh, my headphone, my mic was slipping. Too much hair. I don't know, I think, yeah, this is too close. Yeah, I'll just keep it like this. Hopefully you can still hear me. I don't want to breathe on it, so I muffle out all the words I say. Maybe, okay, that works. So anyways, of course, the Olympics today was amazing because of the opening ceremony. Really, I like watching the opening ceremony. It was pretty cool. I mean, it being in London and everything, and just, not really knowing that much about London. I think the producer of Slumdog Millionaire was the one who made who like directed the whole opening, which it was pretty cool. There's a lot of cool parts in it. My favorite part, hopefully you have seen it, so I'm not spoiling it altogether, but there was a part in there where they had like people all in London, all like the performers and everything. Like it's like the whole like opening ceremony at the beginning was like a journey through them being in the countryside, them going through the Industrial Revolution, and then like stopping in the Industrial Revolution because of that war that to end all wars happened and everything. And hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. And they like had a moment of silence for it, and then they continued on more and more, progressing and doing other things. And then they had this part where, you know how like there's that like smithing. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about when I say smithing, whereas like they pour that extremely hot metal down like a little river, or like a little thing, like a little thing, and everyone keeps hitting it to make it harder and make it like metal, or cool it down to make it metal. And they had it like going down a little path and then into a big circle, and of course you can tell it was one of the rings for like the symbol of the Olympics. And then after that ring was done, that ring started to lift up, and when the camera looked up, like all the rings were coming together and they all lined up. Then of course sparks started flying from it, so it was really cool. Then they had the big passing of the torch, and the final passing of the torch, which definitely I gotta say was really cool. And tomorrow Michael Phelps is gonna be going at it tomorrow with, I think, his friend. And honestly, I'm going for Michael Phelps because he's a really cool guy, and he can swim an extreme buttload of. But he's also they say if he wins gold in this one, he's like he's like the I think the most decorated Olympian ever. And hopefully I'm not blowing that out of proportions and making that completely wrong, or saying that completely wrong. But if I am, hopefully you'll know what I'm talking about. Man, this takes a long time. It's even taking longer. Why is it taking a longer time to render this thing out? This is ridiculous. It's the exact same image, oh, well, maybe it's because I'm running my recorder at the same exact time. Oh. You already know what it's supposed to look like. Just take all the little things I showed you. All you have to do is just make the spheres from the previous tutorial. Make them different colors, not just for like red, blue, yellow, and green. Make them like maybe any kind of color that you think will be really cool. Also, you don't need to keep the same style I put up. Do it any kind of style, any kind of way you want. And the plane that you see, you really don't need to worry about that because that was an accident, or that was actually a plane from a previous from the previous time I attempted to make this. Not necessarily this exact like image, but another project that I did. So hopefully you guys all like this picture. You're kidding me. Hopefully all guys like this video. Like and subscribe. And also from liking and subscribing, there will be more videos to come. And hopefully I can get a few more subscriptions before I start school next year. So anyways, oh crap, I should definitely put that down. Anyways, this is Metroidamon 1996, and if you want to see my other tutorials, just subscribe or like and hit the like button down there, and goodbye.